If you're looking to improve your aim, then make sure to check out Control Freak and use the code OGXRAYZ to get 10% off all the products. Link in the description below. Yo guys, what's up? It's XRAYZ. Welcome back to another Black Ops 4 video. So today we got a massive update for Black Ops 4, well over 10 gigabytes in size. I believe it was 12 for the Xbox, and they're gonna have this update in the future for PC. But there was a ton done. I want to go through all of it, but first I want to cover some of the big stuff. So, well, some of the stuff that wasn't really mentioned in there, or that I just kind of want to throw out there first. So first of all, the Dark Matter camo has been changed. So before it was kind of like a reddish kind of color, and now it looks like they've gone for a more BO4 style one, like the Dark Matter look. Now the look of it also changes colors. So it's going to be changing colors as you go on streaks, and I believe when you do get a 30 kill streak, it actually swaps over to the color from Black Ops 3, that purple color that we're accustomed to. So that was one of the big ones. I'll have an image on screen for you guys who want to see what that looks like. We also did get a ton of changes to smaller stuff, like, for instance, you can now customize your prestige icons once you get to Master Prestige. And then also they did unlock the rest of the specialist character skins in Blackout. I think you could only unlock Crash, Recon, Torque, and then also Ajax as the 4 specialists you could unlock in Blackout. And I still could not find any of the poker chips or the coins that I needed for Recon and Crash, so I was a little bit bummed out. But now they have made it so you can unlock the rest of the characters. The quest or the item quest will be in Blackout now, so you can go in there and try to unlock some more of the specialists. So that's pretty cool. So that's another massive one. With that said, let's go ahead and talk about all of the huge changes that came into this, because it was a gigantic post from Treyarch illustrating what was looked at and then what the actual changes are. So let's start off with the playlist update. They did add gun game into the game. So gun game playlist added to featured playlist. No parties allowed, so you can only go into this one solo. Mercenary team deathmatch or deathmatch. Mosh pit was added, which is essentially a mercenary mode of TDM and then kill confirm. No parties allowed. Essentially, you can only play solo TDMs and solo kill confirm. So I'm really happy with that. I was really happy. I did enjoy the regular mercenary mosh pit, but sometimes you don't want to play hardpoint or you don't want to play control and stuff like that. So it's kind of nice that they just did a deathmatch version of it. So I'm happy with that update. They added a brand new Chaos Domination playlist, which essentially it takes 3 seconds to capture, so it's much faster. The halfway point is 150, and a full match ends at 300 points. And it's also 6v6, so that is going to be super crazy. I can't wait to try that one out. All right, as for hardcore TDM, they actually increased it for the player count to 6v6, so that's pretty interesting. And they also upped up the specialist limit to 2 per team as opposed to just 1. So that's a very interesting change there. Now, as for assault rifles, they actually ended up changing quite a bit of assault. Basically, every single weapon in the game got touched up, essentially. It's actually pretty crazy. So let's jump into this. So we have, obviously, the assault rifles. They said, we're dialing back some of the previous buffs to assault rifles to help close the gap in effectiveness between ARs and SMGs, allowing SMGs to be more effective at firing on the move. So basically, recently we found out that the SMGs are like trash compared to ARs, even at up close ranges. And so it looks like they're removing some of the buffs they had done before. So there's a slight reduction to ADS move speed for all assault rifles, and a slight reduction to ADS in transition speed for all assault rifles. So you're going to be moving a little bit slower if you are using an AR. So with the ICR specifically, they reduced the headshot damage and a slight reduction to the reload speed. So I'm okay with that. I was kind of scared that they would try to mess with the recoil and like make it like super ugly and nasty like they did with previous weapons like the FAMAS. So I'm really happy they're not touching that. With the Vapor XKG, they actually reduced the close range headshot damage. The damage now falls off sooner, so now it's gonna have like, it's gonna be a further shots to kill from like medium longer ranges. That's very interesting. And then also the high caliber, and it's going to have a reduced headshot multiplier, eliminating the possibility of a 3-hit kill. As for some machine guns, it says mobility is the primary strength of SMGs, speeding across the map to engage or disengage quickly. Some of the close range SMGs are performing quite well, while others struggle to compete with the rest of the categories. This week's balancing pass levels the playing field between SMGs. The MX9 has extended all its damage ranges, so now it does more damage at a longer range. High caliber, they reduced the headshot multiplier and eliminating the possibility of a 4-hit kill. I thought that was, what? Okay then, Cordite, they extended all damage ranges. I'm happy with that. The belt feed operator mod increase the overheat rate. So basically with the operator mod, you would have like pretty much infinite ammo, and so it looks like now they like decreased like how long he can just keeps firing and non-stop, and the cooldown is going to be, I guess, a little bit slower then. So there we go. The GKS, the quad shot operator mod, slight time increase in between bursts, so that's also very interesting. The SOG 9mm, the dual wield operator mod, reduced hipfire accuracy, so now they made it a little less accurate. I think a lot of people were really messed up or really angry with the dual wield, so we'll see how that happens. Hopefully they didn't completely break it, because I have yet to try that out just yet. For tactical rifles, they've buffed the ABR to be more competitive with other tactical rifles while stepping it down its operator mod to keep it from becoming a crutch attachment. The Swordfish received some attachment adjustment as well. So with the ABR 223, they extended the maximum damage range. The repeater operator mod now takes longer to accelerate fire rate, so it looks like they're trying to reduce that or stop making it so OP. The stock, slight reduction in movement speed bonus, so it looks like they're lowering it a little bit. The laser sight and laser sight 2 improved hip accuracy, so now when you burst, it's going to be a little bit more accurate when you're doing from the hip while you're using the laser sight and laser sight 2. As for the Swordfish, high caliber headshot multiplier, eliminating the possibility of a 3-hit kill, so they reduced it. So now, really, you're not doing a 3-hit kill anymore. So they're just trying to reduce that. I'm a little bit sad, honestly. So the Pentaburst operator mod reduced extra granted clip size. So it's still going to do a ton of damage because now it's still 5 bullets as opposed to 4. But now at least you'll have a little bit less ammo to play with. So I guess they're trying to balance it without completely breaking the weapons. Or it feels like that's the theme so far. As for sniper rifles, it says the other sniper rifles needed help to fight King Paladin. We're giving these rifles reduced idle sway and upping their damage to help finish off wounded targets more consistently. Remove turn sway when aiming down sights on all sniper rifles to ensure the weapon reticle stays centered when turning. With the Paladin HB50 high caliber, hitting the lower torso on a full TAC 5 boost energy weapon will no longer be a one-hit kill. So if someone has 200 health and you hit them in the chest or lower, or I should say in the torso or lower, then you're not going to have a one-shot kill anymore. So I can see why that's a good change. FMJ2 improved damage against score streaks. Stabilizer 2, players can now hold breath sooner after the previous hold breath. As for the Outlaw, they improved the base damage from 113 to 130. They reduced idle sway. They increased base movement speed and the slight increase in ADS movement speed bonus for these stocks. It's still, it's kind of weird for me that it does 130 damage. It still can't kill one person like you got to get a headshot. Like, I don't know, man. I'm not a fan of that. The SDM increased clip size from 10 to 12, reduced idle sway. And as for the Koshka, they improved the damage from 120 to 140. And the stock has a slight increase in ADS movement speed. So essentially what they're doing, they're trying to make the other ones that are not the Paladin a much easier, better weapon to use, a good substitute. So you can move around a little bit more. It does a little bit more damage. So I can see why they did it, and I'm happy with the changes. As for the light machine guns, some of the community have discovered that the Titan and VKM750 are extremely effective weapons, turning them down before everyone jumps on the bandwagon. While they're still scary to face off against, players will now have a more reasonable chance to defend themselves against these LMGs. For with the Titan, they reduce the headshot damage, they reduce the hipfire accuracy, and with stock, they reduce the ADS movement speed bonus. So they really did a number on the Titan. For the VKM750, they reduce the movement speed while firing, reduce damage slightly, and the Fat Barrel Operator mod, they reduce the bullet tracer size. So, I don't know, man. I kind of like the LMGs where they were at. I didn't really see a lot of people using them. I saw a lot of people using Hades, which also was addressed in this update, and it says the Hades Crossbar Operator mod reduced movement speed and accuracy, and then steady grip to improve the recoil mitigation. But, you know, like I was saying, I didn't really see a lot of people using LMGs, and so I think even now with this update, even less people are going to use it. We'll see about that. If they reduce the headshot damage, it's going to make it harder to get headshots, so I'm a little bummed out about that because I'm trying to get Dark Matter, so that's going to be a little bit sucky. As for pistols, they have a slight reduction to ADS and transition speed for all pistols, so a little slower now. The RK7 Garrison, they slight increase in time between bursts and then slight reduction to reload speed. So they're just trying to make that weapon a little slower, a little harder to handle. As for shotguns, this weapon class is close to where we want it with only a couple of specific attachments performing better than intended. Shotguns in Black Ops 4 play a bigger role than in past Call of Duty titles, and those who have practiced cat and mouse gameplay can be highly effective with them. With the MOG 12, Choked barrel, one hit kill range reduced. The Dragon Breath operator mod resolved an issue where the Dragon Breath occasionally triggered incorrect visuals and sound effects on targets. And as for the SG12, the strobe light operator mod addressed an issue with the strobe light where it would remain on after death. Live update coming soon to reduce the range at which the strobe light intensifies, interferes with enemies' aim. So we'll see. A lot of people were getting really upset at that. They also had some specific attachment changes. So for grip 2, they reduced the ADS flinch. For suppressors, they reduced the damage fall off. For holographic sight optics, they reduced the ADS recoil. For dual zoom optic, they reduced ADS along with the recon. And then for the ELO optic, they slightly increased the ADS recoil. So now it looks like it's going to have a little bit more recoil when you're using the ELO sight. Holy hell, this is a big ass update. There's still so much to cover. Oh man, so we got specialist updates and god damn, it's a lot. Really guys, after going this long, I wanted to go through most of the weapon balancing and stuff like that. And I'm looking at all of the other updates. Most of them are just kind of stuff for individual specialists, and it's going to take a long time to go through all of this because they worked on spawns, they worked on gear, on perks. And if you want to check all of those, then you guys can check out the official Reddit post on Black Ops 4. I wanted to go through the weapon changes because those are the big ones that I think we all really care about. I wanted to go through some of the big ones like the new modes that were added as well. I wanted to go through as well the small stuff that you didn't notice, like the camo changes like in Blackout. And so if you want to see even more, then check out the actual post in the description below because it goes super into detail on literally everything, on spawns, on gear, on specialists, on perks, on score streaks. So the big stuff, if you want to read in depth on that, you can. As far as other stuff that's going on, it's just like stuff related to essentially like maps, theater mode, stuff like that. So check out the full details down below. The other thing I do want to mention is that there was some changes to Blackout for the audio. That was just kind of, they made the audio a little bit better overall. There's 100 players now in solo. Like I was saying, now all the other specialist items are now found. The biggest one, or I should say one of the biggest ones, is the item found notification. So essentially, if you're playing, you know, sometimes I'm playing with like some friends or whatever, and we find something that someone else needs, and we're like, oh, there's one right here. But it's very hard to pick up, well, where exactly is here? And so they added a new item found notification where you can essentially highlight something you found and your teammate will be able to see it because it's going to be highlighted for him to see. So that was a big change to that. Like I said, they added the character missions. As far as armor, it says that armor now allows more damage to pass through to areas of the body that have damage multipliers such as the head and upper chest. So essentially, if someone has armor and you aim for the upper chest and head, now they're going to do more damage than before because they kind of let it so now more bullets go through as opposed to being bounced away. So that was a good update. Then I said like that, they mentioned the 100 players in solo. It's still 88 in duos and quads, but now 100 in solo. They're probably experimenting with that. Then we had the audio, the armor, the character missions I mentioned, the item found stuff. There was some stuff that was being fixed for bugs and glitches and stuff for calling cards. They made some changes to the UI and the miscellaneous. As far as zombies go, there was some pretty big changes for like Easter egg stuff that was crashing. And then the other big thing was that they increased the XP earn rate for hardcore and the realistic difficulties. But other than that, it's pretty much bugs and details, like super in-depth stuff on individual categories. And it makes sense that this was a 10 gigabyte update file. So if you do want to see the full details on every specialist, mode, spawns, gear, and like specific UI stuff, audio stuff, like if you want to go super in-depth, I will recommend that you guys check out the post down below. I wanted to go mostly through the bigger stuff, the weapon balancing, the issues, the smaller stuff that wasn't noticed, like camo stuff, the new modes that were added in, Blackout specific stuff that I thought was very interesting. So I didn't go through everything, and I apologize because that is a huge ass post. I'd probably be sitting here for close to 30 to 40 minutes going through every single little change. And maybe you guys don't care about all that. Maybe you just care about zombie stuff. There's a whole post on there for zombies. Maybe you only care about Blackout. Maybe you only care about multiplayer. Maybe you don't care about like anything else. Maybe specifically you care about weapons. So I wanted to go through some of the stuff I found interesting. If you want to see the rest, again, check it out down below. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. If you did, drop a like on the video. It's super appreciated, incredibly helpful. And if you are new to the channel, if you want to see even more videos like these, I'm going to have a ton more Call of Duty Black Ops 4 news, info, rumors, leaks, and more coming. So make sure you guys are subscribed and have those notifications on so you don't miss a single upload here on the channel. Join Team Rayz today. Now, also, if you guys do want to support the channel directly, you guys can do so by checking out my channel memberships. You get access to early content, exclusive videos, and special badges that show up in all my live streams and in the comment sections of all my videos. So check that out only if you're willing and able to. If you guys want to talk about anything, Twitter, best place to talk, constantly talking over there. At OGXRAYZ is my handle. So go ahead and give me a follow over there. I'll have a link down below along with links to my gaming and second channel. You guys have an awesome day. Take care. I'm out. Peace.